art can be made in a vacuum, but it really never is. Artists tend to work alone, but they don't. Most often it's not just them, it's something else. They're bringing in a whole lot more. So I think with this project Soar, you've got all ages participating and all from quite far away. It's just not just Fitchburg, but it is a Fitchburg project, and it's paper with Fitchburg, which I think is a good thing. And world records are cool, so the more people you can involve, the better.
I can't figure
she
this
got
out.
it.
How did you do that? She did it.
Okay, you want to cut it?
She's so much smarter. We couldn't figure that out. You want to make something for the world's largest paper airplane we're doing in Fitchburg? Excellent. How do I outdo everybody and make it an interesting image? Everybody had the same cameras.
So basically it's about perspective, right?
No, it was about imagery. It's about the kind of mysterious, what makes one thing stronger than another. Joey Beck, Revolve Museum, in their studio on Main Street downtown Fitchburg. And I have a super amazing guest, my niece from Florida, Chloe Friend. Chloe is our artist in residence, our first one in this space, and it happens to be a very talented, if I can say it, person in the arts that is currently studying at, where, Chloe?
Cooper Union. Yeah, Cooper Union. What?
Where are you studying art?
Cooper Union.
Cooper Union. You know how excited I am to have you here, Chloe, friend.
Yeah.
Seeing how I babysat your father for many years.
Yeah.
And your grandmother happens to be my Aunt Karen, who's one of my favorite people in the world, and I'm sure she's one of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so tell us a little bit about your how you got involved in the arts down in Florida. Like, maybe your story's a little different than mine.
It's kind of funny because it's weird that you just can make a decision like that when you're so young, but I went to one of those dumb open houses for middle school, and I saw the art program, and I walked up to my dad and I was like, this is what I want to do. And here I am, 8 years later. I went to art high school. Now I'm going to art college. I'm working on an art project here. So it's kind of clear cut for something, such a big decision in a weird way. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the kind of art you like to do and what you're, kind of moving towards in terms of your young career. What do you like to do?
If I could give a general I like to do sculpture and film, and I'm trying to get better at drawing, just more in touch conceptually or something. But I don't know, it's a weird question to be asked because you think about okay, so if I was going to ask myself what in 8th grade where I thought I'd be now, it'd be so different from where I actually am. So it's just kind of a weird kind of thing to think about. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, but I don't think that's a bad thing either.
I like that. See? So Chloe, friend. I love saying her name.
Who's our friend?
Chloe Friend.
Yeah.
What's the primary difference between New York City and Fitchburg? If you would say, what was what was the most powerful thing you learned this year in art school? If you could pick one thing, what would that thing be?
So I think it's a little bit of chance and a lot of effort. You know, you work your ass off, but there's some things that you can't control and you don't want to control. So, you know, it's you gotta let chance play its cards. You know, that's for me. Yeah, uncertainty is not really a bad thing most of the time.
You're staying at the home and the beautiful property in Lunenburg, in which Project Soar might have a permanent home. What do you think it will actually draw people to there if we advertise it? Do you think that Darren really thinks that could draw people to his kind of what he wants to do there as his cultural destination?
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Okay. The thing about these billboards is when we started going online on eBay to collect ephemera, which is vintage paper, I spent a lot of time going through all these different sites to look around for both historic papers that go back to the turn of the century, kind of when the mills probably were just being built here, all the way to contemporary culture. And paper, these ephemera collectors and the paper out there, it's like everything is paper, pretty much. Then it goes to wood and so forth. But we did find this one guy that had a large collection of antique, vintage billboards from movies that came from the Middle East. That's why you're seeing Arabic text, from Italy, from France, from the United States, and I believe from Africa. So when I talked, you can't really talk on the phone. He didn't send me his phone number, but I kind of periodically wrote him a letter and said, we're building the world's largest paper airplane. It's going to be a world record, 64 feet long. Would you be willing to, provide, because they're expensive. These are really, some of these are from the 1950s all the way up to like maybe the, turn of the century kind of things. And so the ones I wanted, some of them were very expensive. So I wrote him a letter and said, could you please offer some discounts if we get a lot of posters from you that we will turn into collages with young people and with local artists. And that would be a great way to utilize this historic paper, and paper that has different languages, and paper that has been based on some movie or some kind of cultural activity or event in their country. Because not all of them obviously are, like that one's in advertising over there, so it's not always just movies. So it's really been, I just started opening the whole package of these large billboard-sized paper, and some of the paper is falling apart, so it must be really pretty old. And so Chloe here started picking out whatever she wanted and started to do her own art. And so that's what we have here. And I've just started to take apart and look at all the different types of billboards that we have, and it's very exciting.